good win. I mean, I thought we threw the ball well. Obviously they came back a little bit at the end, and then we broke out finally in the seventh inning. But with a couple of bullets by Altuve and Correa, middle of the order, what they're supposed to do in the big spots. But really a really nice all around win. Slow to warm up, but then a little adrenaline at some point.
What happened with on the McCullers pitch? Do you think?
Well, it looked like Napoli took exception, and then we hadn't seen each other in a while, so we went out on the field and said hello, and then then McCullers won the battle. So it was obviously there's a ton of emotion, a lot of adrenaline. It's a nice little rivalry for all these that want to have one. So, but it's going to happen.
Do you condone him throwing behind Napoli?
I think I don't condone Altuve getting hit or Yuli getting hit either. So I think there's a plate. The inside of the plate when we're on defense is ours too. So I think obviously he's not going to let him get extended again. You don't love balls going behind any hitters, namely your own, but they're going to get away from time to time, and especially when you're trying to drive a ball inside. So it is what it is. Baseball takes care of itself this way sometimes, and we got 18 more with him.
McCullers pitched with traffic for most of the night. In your mind, what was key for him getting out of the stuff?
His changeup was good again, to the lefties especially. I thought he threw a couple of righties that were good, and then obviously some put-away breaking balls. I mean, some of these righties came in. They put a couple good swings on him, but for the most part, he stayed composed and in the strike zone and was able to dial it up when he needs to. He's really learning how to hover in the low 90s and then get to the mid to almost 96, 97 when he needs it at high stress moments. So just a really good performance. Obviously the Napoli homer, gave them the lead, and that was probably the pitch that got away from him. But for the most part, Lance did exactly what we asked him to do as long as he could.
Do you think a game like this is just one win, or when there's so much emotion and you're challenged a little bit on the field, does it do anything for a team?
I think that's something that you look back at. I don't know if you look forward with that. I think anytime you get a win against a division opponent, it's a big deal. It's obviously nice to start this series off with a win at home against a team that we want to beat. What it does for us, I think, has to play itself out, and we look back at these type moments and call them big one way or the other. But we didn't really need a defining moment. We've been fighting for a month. We've been playing really well for a month. We didn't need to be woken up. We didn't need to to stand up and fight for ourselves. We needed to play another good game, and we did, and we got another win.
When you've played a game like this against a team, what does it do to the matchup going forward? I mean, you're not going to just start over tomorrow. I mean, there's going to be some feelings.
Oh yeah, no, there's some emotion in every game that you play, but there's specifically a lot of emotion in these rivalry games and in these these teams. Both of us expect to be really good. We expect to be in it. We've had to answer a lot of Rangers questions. I'm sure they're answering a lot of Astros questions. Some of them we put on a platter for them to answer today. So, it's a good banter. It's good for baseball. It's good for the two of us. To have to fight for yourself. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but you want high emotion baseball. This is fun for us to play with a little bit of edge. So we'll see him tomorrow. We'll see him 18 more times. Obviously it should be a fun summer.
What did you make of the tweet?
I didn't know about it until late into batting practice. So as with most of Twitter, I just kind of roll my eyes. Obviously we're not trying to supply any bulletin board material, but they can do with it what they want. I think it's fun, but at the same time, it's really unnecessary on both sides to really give a shit about it. Edit that out. But
this might have been a little bit of an icebreaker for Carlos. Had a big hit in that situation where he had been struggling a little bit.
A little bit. I think so much expectations on Correa. He had some pretty big hits against Corey Kluber in Cleveland. I think he's sort of a guy that we wait on. We want him to be perfect. Like the entire world wants this kid to be perfect. And when he doesn't come through at a perfect moment, we don't let him fail enough. And so I think it's good for our team. He's an integral part of what we're doing. He hasn't been at his best for the month, but that doesn't make him a bad player. That makes him a guy who really wants to contribute. He came up with one of the biggest hits. Well, I'm just glad he didn't hit Altuve, to be honest. And it was a good time for him to to square up a ball in a barrel and get a couple RBIs.